Hello there everybody and welcome to Let's Play The Legend of Zelda. There's two Tim files here, just ignore them all. Oh man, yeah, I guess we'll do file 3 because the top files are, indisposed currently. They're kind of half practice, half, failed takes, I'll say that. I mean, we could probably just start either one of them and we'll be fine, but we're gonna play through this game. The Legend of Zelda is easily one of my top favorite franchises of all time in all video gaming history. Some of you know that because I had a failed, well, not really a failed LP, well, kind of a failed LP. It kind of just died. I stopped uploading the episodes, partially because I got sick during recording them, and then I recorded some episodes that had messed up audio files, so there's echo, and I just ended up putting Wind Waker on massive hold, basically. Probably gonna pick that up again at some point in time, but right now we're gonna play some other games. Right now, I wanted to play this game because it's summertime, and for those who haven't been around forever on YouTube, about 4 or 5 years ago, there was a thing that was going around that was called 8-Bit Summer. And it was basically a thing that a lot of the Let's Playing community did, where they would play through old 8-bit games during the summertime for their projects, and that's what they would call it. So, yeah, I figured I kind of want to do that. I always wanted to give it a shot as a kid, and now that I actually have the ability to, with pretty good equipment, honestly, like probably the best equipment that I can get right now. The best equipment that I should have is probably replacing the mic, which is next on my list, but I have a really good capture card now. I have the NES Classic, which I just got a few days ago, and that's another reason why I really wanted to do this game, was because I just got the NES Classic, and I absolutely love it. Surprisingly, I think I might like it a little more than the Super Nintendo Classic for no reason, because I like the games a lot more on the Super Nintendo Classic, and I died. Yo, I need to get used to this game again. For those who don't know, I did actually do a run of this game without a sword, in the past when I was younger. I used to play The Legend of Zelda a lot on the Virtual Console, and there was an LPer named Nintendo Capri Sun who did the whole game without a sword, and so I watched him do that run, and I decided to give it a shot myself, and I barely managed to do it, but I did end up doing it eventually. And also, with age, I guess I lose a lot of my video gaming skill, because I am not as good as I was when I was a kid at pretty much any video game, except for Wind Waker. I'm still a god at that game. You know, I've got some games that I'm just good at, but you know, back in the day, I could pick up any game and be like, alright, let's play through this. I don't know what it is about that. Like, as a kid, I guess your reflexes are better, or you're just able to understand things a lot better, but I don't know. I mean, I don't know if it even matters, really. I can't believe... Wait, we're already in Dungeon 1. I mean, obviously, this game was not meant to be long. It's not a long game, and if you know where you're going and what you're doing, and have a good idea of the map layout, then you're not really going to have much of a problem with it. The later dungeons are really difficult, I must say. Eastmost Peninsula is the secret. Okay. Yeah, this game was kind of all about exploring when it came out, so you'll get a lot of cryptic messages like that. You know, obviously, if you know the game well enough at this point, it's not that big a deal. Also, I just wanted to say that the sword beam in this game is so helpful. It's way more helpful than it's ever been in any Zelda game. So yeah, definitely want to try to stay at full health as much as possible. And right when I say that, I get hit out of full health. These guys can be... The Moblins can be kind of tricky. Also, not many people drop hearts in this game, so kind of have to be careful. But if you kill them all, you get the boomerang, which obviously is helpful. There's a lot of optional items in this game. Oh boy. I do not like the wall masters at all. So, we're going to try to avoid them. Here's the boss. We don't have any bombs to deal with him, and I died. Because I don't have any health fighting him. Oh, perfect. This is a great start, everybody. Oh boy. Dying in Dungeon 1. That's what this episode should be called. Although if I call it that, everyone will just think I'm a scrub, which, you know, at this point, I haven't played this game in actually years. Probably since it was released on the Wii Virtual Console, but, you know, what are you gonna do? Honestly, I was surprised at how good the games look on the NES Classic when you record them with the Elgato. I tried doing a failed run of Metroid earlier. I got pretty far. I got up to Kraid, but I don't know. I don't know if I'm going to continue that because I accidentally turned off my NES Classic system, and when I went back to see if my save state was still there, and like all my files were still there, it was gone, because I think when you turn off the NES Classic, you lose all of your save states and whatnot, so, you know, and that kind of sucks, but what are you gonna do? So I don't know if I'm gonna continue that Metroid run. I'll probably redo Metroid at some point in time, but I remember I was just looking back on that footage and I was like, damn, the NES Classic really picks up some really good footage off this new Elgato. So I really wanted to do another NES game. And Zelda was the next one that I was going to do, so there you go. 8-bit Summer, everybody. There was also 16-bit Summer, and I'd kind of like to participate in that too at some point. Maybe I'll do some 16-bit games as well during this summer, we'll see. I am going to be moving, and after I finish moving, I'm going to be doing a lot more games. I'm going to be Let's Playing a lot and just doing a lot more videos in general. And so maybe that will be a good time for it. I mean, that's going to be at the end of July, early August, so there might be a lack of videos again then. I know you're already no stranger to the hiatuses that I might go under here and there, but hopefully that will change as things get going. Oh, okay, I completely forgot about that. And we're not tackling the boss right away, because I just want to see. There is a bow down here. We did miss the dungeon item, or we would have if we had just fought the boss and actually won. So let's grab the dungeon item, which is the bow. Kind of vital to killing Ganon in this game, because you have to use the silver arrows. That's a little bit spoiler. Okay, I'll die. I mean, now that we have the bow, we can just go right to the boss, so it's not that big a deal. I can already tell that the later dungeons are going to be awful, because if you die later on, you always start at 3 health. So right now it might not seem like that big of a deal, because 3 hearts is your max amount of hearts anyway, but trust me. Just trust me. Later on, that's a big deal, boys. Because when you start fighting Dark Nuts, and, you know, all of the later enemies, oh boy. Ooh, daddy. Right now, the worst thing that we have to deal with is Moblins and Stalfos, but, you know. Don't need to be in there. Might have wanted to grind some of those keys for hearts, but I don't know, fam. Maybe these keys will give me some hearts. Hopefully. Because the boomerang does actually kill them, and so they're pretty easy to vanquish. As long as you get the boomerang. Forgot that you get like 2 dungeon items in this dungeon. I mean, you can get the boomerang from any of the moblins who use a boomerang, I think. As long as you kill them. It's kind of like getting bombs. Bombs aren't really a dungeon item in this game. You can just kind of find kind of find them from enemy drops. So, don't want to go up there. Because I think the boss is this way. I think. I'm not positive. Oh boy. This isn't looking good. I died again. No. Alright, let's try this again. Probably won't cut this out. I'm just having a bad episode right now. Oh my god. Boy, oh boy, I can't believe how bad I'm doing, honestly. In retrospect, this dungeon should have been over a long time ago, but, you know, sometimes it do be like that. Alright, I think it's telling me that the boss is... Oh, it's over that way. So we have to go over and then north. We actually have the sword beam, so we should use it. That way we don't die. Please don't flank me like that, my guys. No. See, the D-pad on the NES Classics controller is a little sensitive. So, on occasion, like, my thumb will sort of slip up, and, I'll be set in an upward direction, which isn't particularly what I'd always want to be doing, but, you know, sometimes it does. Sometimes it do be like that. Alright. This is the way to the... Oh my god, I should have definitely seen that coming. I don't know why I didn't. This is the Wall Masters. And here's the boss. See, now if you had a bomb, this boss is super easy because all you do is plant the bomb and he's dead. I unfortunately do not, so we're just gonna try to be careful. I'm going to die. I think he was on his last hit, that's why he was going speedy. Wow, that's like the third game over in episode 1. Now I'm like Monka S. Later dungeons are going to be awful, although I just need to get used to the game again. I need to remember bosses' patterns and enemy patterns and everything else. I just kind of hopped into it. I want to do Zelda 2 eventually too. Honestly, everybody hates Zelda 2, but it's one of my favorite games. I do have to say. I don't know, this is just a big game from my childhood. Even though I wasn't born in the 80s, I was born in 97, so I was past the NES age. Zelda 2 was always one of my... Or, not Zelda 2, what am I saying? I mean, Zelda 2 also, but The Legend of Zelda, this one, the NES first one, was definitely a big part of my childhood. I remember just playing this game, and not even like doing the main quest, just kind of roaming around. Can I even call it a main quest? It's just the main game. I don't know what else to call it, though. But, you know, because like the world was so big, and this boss is so much easier with the sword beam, by the way. Yeah, it's like the world is big, and there's actually stuff to explore. And, I mean, that was kind of the point of the game. Alright, we did it. See, that boss is not difficult. I don't know why I was having trouble with him. I mean, well, because I don't have the sword beam, but, I mean, he only takes, like, probably, like, 6 hits. And there's the first Triforce. There we go. Dungeon 1 complete. Got the dungeon items. The dungeon items are skippable, so you definitely want to try to get them before you move on. And actually, probably about time that we should end this episode, so in the next one, actually, you know what, I'm going back to the first dungeon to end it off, because that is a safe zone pretty much, and I just lost my sword beam. Sadness. Maybe I can get it back if this guy will perish. Oh. Okay, well, I got hit enough to the point where I still didn't get it back. Alright, I'll see you all in the next episode. Goodbye.